The official kingdom of Hawaii came to be in 1795 and ended in 1893, but Hawaii had many chief rulers before this as well. The official kingdom of Hawaii came to be when King Kamehameha I decided to conquer all of the Hawaiian Islands, such as Oahu, Molokai, Maui, and all of the islands within the Hawaiian Islands except for Niihau and Kauai. At least not by force, and I'll get into that towards the end, but for right now, let's get into his reign. King Kamehameha I, also called King Kamehameha the Great, was a strong, intimidating, and strategic warrior leader who united all of the Hawaiian Islands from being separate with their own individual chief leaders to becoming one entire kingdom united. Here are a few things that he had done in his reign as king. King Kamehameha led his people in peace as well as war. At the end of the fighting in 1795, the land was untilled and the people were starving, so the king decided to have his people raise food by turning their spears into digging sticks and their war canoes into fishing canoes. This shows he was not only a strong war leader, but was strategic in survival to keep his people alive as well. Now, here are some things that King Kamehameha I had done economically to better help the Kingdom of Hawaii. Foreign trade. The major reason for Honolulu's growth at the time was foreign trade. Ships from Europe and North America liked to stop off in Hawaii's kingdom on their way to China's kingdom. Here's an example of a trade. Captain George Vancouver. On a visit to the Hawaiian island, Captain Vancouver George brought cattle, sheep, and other gifts to the Hawaiians. Later, these gifts would help their diets and supply trade coming to Hawaii with beef. Now I'm going to talk about the sandalwood industry. By 1819, sandalwood had become Hawaii's #1 export industry. From his experience in trading with China, Kamehameha learned to set up a system from taxing up ships visiting the islands. So overall, King Kamehameha was a very strategic and wise leader, both economically and as a warrior, and also in survival as well, taking care of his kingdom and his people. But now I'll get into the part of how Kauai and Niihau actually became part of the Hawaiian kingdom, because it was not by force. Kauai was the only island not to be conquered by King Kamehameha I. The ruling chief was aware that Kamehameha was coming sooner or later and had little chances to win. So in 1810, with the help of Captain Nathan Winship, a meeting had been arranged with the two. And in return for the surrender of the islands, the other chief was allowed to remain as governor as long as he lived. And once he died, then King Kamehameha would have Kauai's position. So what this basically means is that the ruler chief of Kauai was allowed to govern the island, and when he died, then it would be passed on to King Kamehameha I, and then his lineage, and then they could all be a part of Hawaii's kingdom. By the way, America's a dumb fucking bitch, and they ruined the Hawaiian kingdom. And the reason why this kingdom ended so short was because America is a backstabbing son of a bitch traitor who betrayed their own ally and turned us into a territory. Later, it turned into a state. It was voted into a state later on in life, but we could have been so much more than just becoming a state of America. But they were greedy as fuck, so yeah.